Alrighty, so it's been a while since we've done a tier list, and I'm pretty sure I had somebody ask me to do one not too long ago, so we're just going to update kind of like where we left off, I guess. I can't remember exactly what month it was even for the last one, but you can see kind of where we were at as far as like drawing conclusions and stuff. I'm pretty sure the last update that I did one on was whenever King came out, or it was right before King came out, and they were already showing him off and stuff like that on JP at the time. So yeah, we're a little bit behind. It's been a little while since we've done one, so if you want to see the final product or you look at it more in detail, I'll actually post the picture of it and everything in our Discord in the tier list section, so feel free to join the Discord. There's a link in the description if you want to join it. It's basically all just 7 Deadly Sins stuff, because that's what I do on the main channel. So yeah, let's hop into this thing. There's obviously a couple of revisions that I want to make. We don't have too many characters that we're actually adding. We're starting right here at Blue Lilia and going all the way to the end. For some reason I have duplicates of all of these characters for some reason, so at some point I need to make a new template and get rid of all the dupes. And I would love for all of these to be the same size, but because the game is 2 years old at this point, all of the like people that I pull these images from, like the different websites and stuff like that, have them all at different sizes and different things. So who knows, man. I can't really fix that, unfortunately, even though I would love to. But let's do a couple of revisions really quickly. So after I was putting some of this together, I definitely want to move Escanor way up. Escanor still, I think, is in top 3 by far. Like, he's just top tier. I mean, there's nothing really to compete with on that one. I kind of want to move Assault Mode down to bottom of SS tier, or even maybe top of S tier, but I'm going to keep him there for now. I think I'm going to move Lostvane, regular red Lostvane, up to the top of A tier, because it's kind of ridiculous of him being that high, I think, because honestly, like, he can't compete in PvP anymore, and he's basically only used for like a couple of stages in like the Tower of Trials if you have him 6/6th, or maybe you use him in PvE, but he can't compete in PvP anymore. He's way too squishy for that. Maybe if you have the right team, but even then, just nobody uses him. I don't think he's really all that good anymore. I don't know why Red Derriere was up here in S tier, to be honest. I think it was just because of the fact that I'm a little biased. I really like Red Derriere, but she's really only used for Howlix Demon at this point, and really she doesn't really stand a chance in any other PV or like just any other game mode. I mean, there's just obviously a lot better characters that you can use rather than her nowadays. I feel like Sigurd being this far up on S is kind of ambitious for him. I'm definitely going to move Cusack way up higher because he deserves it. This Merlin, honestly, I think I'm going to push her up to the bottom of SS tier because she's insanely strong at the moment. And I think I'm going to move Festival Gother down to S tier. Although he is good as a support character, his damage is really lacking. His ultimate is like awful sometimes, and even it kind of helps the enemy in certain situations. I'm just not a big fan of that unit. I'm not trying to be biased, but I don't think he deserves SS tier by any means. I think we're gonna move Little Merlin down a little bit as well. I think we're gonna put her about right there. I want to push Kia way up higher. Probably push Goddess Liz way up higher. We can probably push all of these characters up a little bit, and then this seems pretty good, I think. Other than that, I don't really have much else to revise. I definitely want to push Magelda up to high A tier. I don't want to push her up any higher than that, because although yes, her Holy Relic does make her insanely good for the bird, she only works on the bird. So high A tiers as far as I'm willing to budge on that one, unfortunately. But I don't think there's anything else too crazy. I'll push Green Arthur up a little bit more because he's still, really good. I think I'm going to push Blue Droll in front of Green because I think the Blue Droll is much better than Green Droll as far as them two goes. So yeah, I guess that's fine. I kind of want to push Iori down some because I don't think he really deserves to be that high on A tier. Like, he's okay, but But yeah, other than that, I can't remember if there was any other revisions while I was making the list that needed to be redone. I think I kind of want to push Frowdren up a little bit, because Blue Frowdren for like cheesing method is actually pretty good in certain scenarios, so that's pretty decent. I think I want to move Elat up as well, because Elat's actually pretty good in a couple of different scenarios, one of them being she's really good in certain guild bosses, and other than that, she's actually pretty decent on certain scenarios, I guess, as well. So we're going to push her up a little bit, and then I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there was anybody else that I wanted to revise. Maybe next time I redo this, I'll take some notes. First character that we have to mess with is Blue Christmas Lilia. I absolutely regret 100% missing out on this character. I think I'm going to put her in the... I don't even know if I want to put her in the bottom. I think I'm going to put her like mid SS tier, because with... obviously it's with the Holy Relic. I don't want the Holy Relics to be like super... yeah, like a super big, you know, dependent factor for some characters, but with her, like, her Holy Relic just makes her a brand new character basically, and she is insane with it. So definitely think that she's like super high up. She's a little niche at the moment because certain people skipped her, but yeah, I think once this next banner comes out with Blue Elaine, I think that she's going to, maybe some people are going to end up drawing her a little bit more. I don't know for sure though. So either way, I don't think he needs to be up there. I think yeah, I've already got him on the list. I'm almost positive of that. So should just be these characters. Yeah, okay, we're good. Obviously Trader Melly is top tier. I think he's gonna be up here with the big four. I think he's probably... I think I'm gonna move Bond to the front. I hate to do it, but I think I'm gonna move Bond to the front, because Bond beats melee teams more often than not, from my experience personally. So that's the only thing that I'm going off of here. Yes, you can beat Bond with Meliodas, but I struggle to have a good match against a Bond team with a Meliodas team. But maybe I'm just doing something wrong there. Either way, I think the Bond team is just insanely strong at the moment. So we're going to put Trader Melly next. Trader Melly is really good against beating King teams, so I think we're going to put him down to number 3. That doesn't really mean much, because obviously King can beat, Bond, but still really, really good. I don't think Escanor on his own is still like super, super insane. I mean, he's still really good, but I think pairing him with Melly is going to keep him in the top spot for sure. Not that there's really anybody else in the competing lineup that's going to pass him, because, I mean, maybe Lilia, but even then, probably not. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, so we have Green Sariel. Green Sariel is actually really fun. I don't think that he's going to be as good as the Red Sariel, so I definitely want him to be lower than that. I think S tier is still a good spot, so I think if we put him maybe right above Ludociel, that would be a pretty decent spot as far as I'm concerned, just personally. Moving on to the next one, we have Blue Elat. So Blue Elat is pretty minimal. I would say like mid C tier, because she only works in Guild Boss, which is unfortunate. And there's a lot of like requirements to meet for her to like even use her passive. She's pretty helpful, but at the same time, a very niche character. You're probably not going to use her. I think C tier is maybe even a little bit ambitious for her. Maybe D tier. Let's move her down to the low of C tier. I think that would be okay. Red Liz, I'm unfortunately in the same boat with her. I think we're just going to put them together because they make a lot of sense. She only works in the time limited dungeons, which is honestly even more niche than the guild boss as far as I'm concerned. She is still really useful. She's actually more useful than Elat, I would say, because you put her in the back line, you let her do her thing, it helps out quite a bit. So maybe I push her up to like higher C tier, but even then still very, very niche, so I don't want her to go higher than C. Scotty is a pretty interesting character. I want to say maybe low A tier. She's decent in certain situations, maybe high B tier actually. I was pretty let down with how she ended up actually performing, which is unfortunate, but you know, it happens. Valentine's Day Molassella is also an interesting one because I don't have this character. I know that she can be pretty useful, especially for like Assault Mode Meliodas teams. I know that there was a team that people were using her with the brand new Festival Diane on JP. I don't really see it on Global, but then again, I think people skipped Molassella a lot, and then I really don't see a whole lot of Dianes in the meta either. So I think it's just a case of two very niche units that people really aren't summoning for on a team together. So I think she's pretty good though. I think we're gonna put her at the bottom of A tier. Mainly because of her passive, making it to where you're immune to ignite stacks, because that's honestly super useful in today's meta. She'll probably get pushed down a little bit further, maybe in a newer like iteration of the tier list at some point. Red Festival Diane. So this is going to be a tough one. I honestly think that she is good. She's good in multiple game modes. Her passive doesn't lock her to a specific game mode or anything, but she's just really not all that great like overall. Like, she's good enough to be used in multiple scenarios, I guess, but she's like in PvP, if they go first and they immediately shut her down, she's completely, like, obviously she's dead, she's completely useless. It doesn't help you at all to have her on the team. She can tank pretty decently well, and you know, if she survives, she does more damage. She's not really meant to be like a damage dealer per se, so I think low S tier is where I'm going to stick her for now, because I think maybe in the future, if we get a little bit more support for her or something like that, we could potentially bump her up. But even then, I'm kind of skeptical. I almost want to put her in A tier because of just how sort of she is. Like, she's good, but that's all she is. She's just good. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. And obviously this blue Elaine, I actually don't know if I really want to put her on the list yet or not, because I haven't seen her on Global. She doesn't come out for a couple more days as far as like this tier list coming out goes. Like, she comes out on next week's update as of the time of posting this, so I don't know where to put her yet. As far as I can tell on JP, she seems to be pretty useful, but she's also a very niche unit. She helps out with fairies dealing damage, which is good because you know, like Full Wing King can, you know, benefit from that, along with Small Wing King, which is actually kind of impressive. And she has a Holy Relic that comes out with her release that makes her deal, I think it's 30% more damage as long as they're shocked or something like that, which builds into her kit. So I think I'm just gonna leave her out at the moment. If I had to say where she was, I would say maybe somewhere in A tier, maybe high B tier, because she's very supporty, not good on damage. You're gonna need to build like a Holy Relic for her if you really want to get the most like bang for your buck, I guess, out of her. So I think that's where we're gonna leave this one for now. Definitely a couple of revisions that needed to be made, some new characters and stuff like that have been put on. Honestly, it wasn't really all that many characters that we had to add, so I mean, I guess it just goes to show, like, I mean, even if I'm only doing these every couple of months, it's really, you know, there's only 2 characters coming, or like 2 banners coming out a month, so depending on how many characters are on each banner, it really doesn't build up all that fast. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. If you have any thoughts or opinions or any, you know, discrepancies, maybe you think somebody should be higher or lower, you know, feel free to leave a comment. I'm not like, you know, ironclad on this kind of thing, so I'm willing to budge a little bit if I think that it's actually like a good reason. Like, definitely don't just be like, oh, Green Sariel's actually so good, put him higher. Like, that doesn't tell me anything. Put an actual reason why you think the character needs to go up or down, so that way I can actually take it into consideration and maybe, you know, make a little bit of a change. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know these are a little bit, you know, few and far between, but then again, like I said, you know, there's not really all that many characters that come out you know, quickly, so there's not really any need for me to do these any more frequently than I do them, I guess. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you in the next one.